In this tutorial I want to present you how you can use most effectively grid layouts actions. Grid layouts actions are part of grid layouts actions package, then grid layouts actions bundle, and page layouts actions. Actually, layouts actions bundle. If you have this set, then go to grid layouts bundle. Then grid layouts Photoshop actions, then actions folder, and grid layouts kit. I will use grid layouts templates ATN file. So that's where you can find actions that we will use in this tutorial. I am using Deposit Photos homepage as sample. It has layout which is modern, and it's easy to recreate or to create something very similar using my actions. Now I have loaded grid layouts templates actions, and I will use 6x2 template. Why? Because if we take a look, we can divide this layout into squares. This square is basic unit, and it's on this side it's 130 by 130 pixels. Here is first square. Then this image can be divided into 4 squares. So basically we have 2 up and 2 down. So 1, 2, 3 squares, 4, 5, 6. So we have in essence 6 columns, and we have 2 rows. In total we can distinguish 12 squares, which are in 6 columns and 2 rows. And this action 6x2 template, it will create 6 columns and 2 rows. And now I will show you how you can determine what is what are dimensions of each and every column and row. So let me play action. I need to click continue, and now if I want 6 squares to create, I need to specify here width 6 by 130. I want to recreate basically this 6 by 130 is 780 pixels. And now for height, I have 2 rows here, and I want height of one square to be 130. So 2 times 130, that's 260. Okay, and action will do its thing. It will take a minute to create this layout. Now you understand what I'm talking about. So we have 12 squares which are 130 in width and 130 in height. So 6 by 130, that's 780 dimension that I have specified for width, and height is 2 times 130. Now if I open layers panel, you will see that I have created image 1, image 2, image 3, image 12. Those are smart object layers for images, and below each and every smart object for images you have placeholder layer, which is a shape layer, and this layer is determining which part of image layer is visible. So this is basically clipping mask. Now to recreate layout, I will give some room to myself by expanding canvas size, image canvas size. Okay, and now I have room to work with. Let's see what we have. We have two squares on the left side, and we have space between each and every basically image in this layout. Now I need first to separate these guys. Easy way to do such thing is to use move tool, and you must have auto select layer enabled. Now since we have a background layer which is locked, when you click and drag, it will not select background layer and move it. It will draw marquee, and marquee will determine which layers will be selected in layers panel. Now I will ensure that I am in 100%, and I will use shift left arrow, and that will move selection for 10 pixels. Now I will click on background layer to deselect, and now select only those layers, and again I will move them for 10 pixels. I will do the same with last row. Now I want to separate and those layers, and now I have something that I can start working. Oh, sorry, I need to separate and bottom layers for down arrow key, so it's shift down arrow key. Now I have base to start recreating this layout. Here we have larger image which covers 4 of these squares. Instead of merging shapes, I can do following: to select placeholder layer, Ctrl T to transform it, and then simply to enlarge this placeholder layer to cover entire space. I will confirm and hide this layer. Now I can select image and placeholder layers for object 3, 8 and 9 and simply delete them because I don't need it shapes. And 9, it's delete layers. Okay. What else we have? It's merge 10 and 11. Now I will select placeholder 10, enlarge it, and then simply delete image and placeholder 11 because I don't need it. Now I will select placeholder 6, enlarge only placeholder layer, and then I can delete 12, image 12 and placeholder 12. Okay, and basically I have recreated this layout, but I want to mention that do not enlarge smart object layers. Everything will work just fine. When you use action which will help you to place images, image will be placed in 100% of its width and height. If you don't enlarge or scale image smart object layers, so just do not change those layers. Now I can move in this smart object layer just to have idea what I need to cover with my image. Along the way with template, grid layouts template actions, you have grid layouts place images. And now if I expand any of these actions, you will see that action will look for layers: image 1, image 2, image 3, image 4. So it's basically for image layers, image underscore sequence number. Which action to run? You can run any of these actions which have more than when you multiply those two numbers to have more than 7. So 3 times 5 is 15. You can play this action. Here I need 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 images. Do not let you confuse this to confuse you those numbers. You can change them if you want. You can simply double click on image smart object layer and to type number. This would be number 3. If it's easier for you, you can change. You can modify this, and to know exactly in which order you will have you need to place images. But you will go from top left corner and all down. Since we have enlarge number 2, you will place after this image, you will place this and this and this and this image, this, and lastly this which holds number 10. In order everything to works fine, you must have in layers panel image 1, image 2, 3, 4, so basically sequence numbering. Since we have changed modified template, we don't have that requirement, but there is easy way to fix that. You just select all these smart object layers or simply use this filter. If you have Photoshop CS6 or greater, you can use filter for smart object layers and then select them, and you have free script which you can download and use for free. It's CAM Layers Renamer APR. Run this script, check replace, and then type image underscore %n and simply click OK. It will rename those layers in sequence numbering. It must be image underscore sequence numbering starting from 1. Now that I have this requirement, I can run any action. Let me use this place images 4x2. It means place 8 images. So click OK, you see message, and then navigate to images that you want to use and folder with images that you want to use, and simply double click on image. Image will be placed in Photoshop. We see dialog and handles, so you can scale and move this image. Since those are smart object layers, you can scale and move, and later you don't have to pay that much attention, but it's okay to manage everything as you want in this try. I don't wanna spend too much time. I will simply place images to show you how all this works. Let me just scale it a bit. Okay. Place this cut. Okay. You can also use enter or return on your keyboard instead of clicking this check mark at the top right corner. So scale, enter, next image, let me place this one, scale, move a bit, okay, and last one, let me place this guy. So now I have all images in place. This, as we said, this action will look for 8 images. It's created to help you to place 8 images, but we have only 7, and you will see error message. Command select, because Photoshop now tries to select image underscore 8. That layer does not exist and informs you that cannot perform the operation. That's okay, just click stop. You will see expanded action. As I said, it stopped at step select layer image underscore 8, which does not exist. Collapse action, and that's it. So that's how you can quickly create basically any layout that you can imagine. You just need to know what you want, and you need to be able to divide that layout into smaller unit. In this case it was a square, but it can be a rectangle if it's easier for you to divide that layout into rectangles. And you can run action this with template in the name, and to make that shapes to be rectangles instead of squares. And here is how. Let's say you want to have as starting point 4 rectangles which are 400 by 200 pixels. Now, how to do that? So you want width to be 400 pixels of that rectangle. You have 2 rectangles, that's 800 pixels. You want height to be 200 pixels. We have 2 rows, so that's 400 pixels. Okay, and now you will see that you have 4 rectangles which are 400 by 200 pixels. Now, what if you want, for example, if you take a look here on Deposit Photos Home, they have tabs. Now, what if you want to create 4 layouts like this or similar for vectors, editorial, and so on? Well, you don't have to run action again, but do not simply duplicate all these layers. For example, you can duplicate entire group and just to replace images. Don't do that, because when you duplicate smart object layers, you are creating clones. Updating image on this layer will update on parent. Instead of that, just go to image duplicate and click OK, and then run action to replace images. So you have those actions to place images. So you can run again 2x4 or 4x2, it doesn't matter. It basically means place 8 images in sequence numbering image underscore 1 to image underscore 8. If you have those layers in your layout, which must be smart object layers, then you can play this action. So I will play now this action just to replace those images with some other to show you how exactly this works. I don't want to scale and waste your time. I will just quickly replace all images and give you instruction how to move those to move this new layout into existing into your template. Okay, and then I want to show you lastly how to export images, because you have nice option in latest release of Photoshop, which will allow you to export multiple sizes from once and multiple images using export as command. Now that you have your second layout, you can do following. Just let's say let me close this guy. Let's say here you want to present photos. This is layout for photos, and I will draw tab. Let's say this is photos tab, and I will duplicate. Now you want, for example, to you are creating another layout for, let's say, for videos, and let me just type here photos, and the second one is for videos. Okay, now those are for photos, and I will let me change just color overlay to use normal, and okay, it doesn't matter. Now I will create a layer comp window, layer comp. Oops, it says photos. Now I will select these photos, and here I will change these to videos, and just to duplicate this layer group into this document. Untitled, very descriptive. Okay, now I will do the same. I will save. I want to save another layer comp, but this time with videos visible. So this will be layer comp videos. And now I have photos and videos. Okay, two layer comps which I can present to client or collaborator and so on. So that's the way how you can use most effectively. So the key point is to understand how actions work and to be able to divide your layout into a smaller unit like square or rectangle. Thanks for watching, and if you have any question or you have idea how I can improve those actions, please do not hesitate to leave a comment. Now I forgot to explain you part with export as. Let's say you want to export all those images to use on your web page. You should select placeholder layers, not image layers, but placeholder layers. You can also quickly select them by filtering for shape layers. And now I have placeholder 1, 2, 3, 4, and so on. This can be confused a little bit because it's placeholder we have managed while changing layout to have placeholder 1, then 2, then 4. It's good idea to also rename those placeholder layers, and to since we will use them to export images, because in essence our images are on placeholder layers. Image 2 is, for example, clipped, what means pixels on this placeholder layer are replaced with pixels from this image. It's like having layer mask on this image. It's like not exactly the same because you see two separate layers, but it acts like that. So in this case, those are videos. I will select these placeholder layers and use again script to rename these layers. And I want to replace with more meaningful name, which is videos, and then %n. This will rename all these placeholder layers to videos 1, videos 2, 3 in sequence numbering. And then I want for photos, for second layer comp with thumbnails with photos, I want to do exactly same thing. But this time I will rename to images, actually photos, these placeholder layers. I will type now photos underscore %n and replace don't forget to check replace. And I have layers photos 1, 2, 3 in sequence numbering. To quickly filter for shape layers, you can filter for shape layers, and now I can select all these placeholder layers and to say export as. And now we will see export as dialog, where you can specify file format, then you can specify to export multiple sizes like 0.5, or you can specify double size. I will use this time half of this current size. And here you have format, quality, so on, convert to sRGB, export all. And now I will create a folder which I will call export. And yes, I already have export folder, so export all, and Photoshop will very quickly create all these images and export them in two sizes. As you see, photos, this is for photos tab number 1 and smaller one, photos 2 and smaller one. Just to ensure that we are doing right thing, let me use layer comps, and I want to choose photos. Okay, and now let me see. So that's image 1, this is image 2, everything is okay, as you can see. Now for videos, we have images exported for videos. First one is this one, and second one is this one. Everything is okay. So this is the way how to quickly export all required images, which you can start later placing in your HTML document. So that was missing in previous part, and again, if you have any question, do not hesitate.